Thank you, Madam Chair. Honorable Senators, I rise to begin this inquiry on the safe and productive development and use of artificial intelligence here in Canada. Artificial intelligence is the collection of technologies that allows machines to perform tasks that are usually associated with human intelligence, tasks such as learning, perceiving, and creating. AI holds the potential to change our society and our economy in many ways, unleashing productivity and innovation, for many evoking excitement and promise for the future. But there is a growing concern that we risk losing control of this very powerful tool, that people will soon be left behind, that some may even be harmed by the uncontrollable evolution of this emerging technology. Colleagues, this is why I've put forward this inquiry. Artificial intelligence already is having a wide and pervasive impact on every aspect of our lives. We cannot be mired down by inaction. We cannot let this technology move forward while standing on the sidelines and hoping for the best. We, as senators, as legislators, as leaders, have the duty and we have the tools to examine, to actively examine, and to understand, and to have an impact on the development and use of AI, especially to ensure that it is safe and that it is productive. We must reflect on the lessons of the past. We now know how dangerous the effects of social media have been. Despite some of the many good things that have come from it, social media has had extraordinary influences and, in some instances, negative impact on our culture, democracy, physical and mental health, economy, and more. What if there were efforts 20 years ago to understand how this technology could evolve and where there needed to be protections and cautions? What would governments and parliaments do if they had the opportunity to start over again? While we can't go back in time, we can focus on the future. We can all agree that artificial intelligence is a pivotal, transformative technology like electricity, antibiotics, or the internet before it. It will change everything about our way of life. While we work to unleash AI's potential for our economy and society, we must understand where the opportunities lie to protect Canadians from the harms of AI. This inquiry is an important step in our dialogue in seeking our collective understanding of the impact we would seek to have as parliamentarians. And I urge as many of you as possible to participate. AI is impacting our health, our culture, our human rights, our parliaments, our democracies, our healthcare, the arts, education, scientific research, economic growth, national defense and security, international relations, and many, many more sectors. I trust that you will have much to say, honorable colleagues, about how AI is impacting these and other sectors and the benefits and risks that this landmark technology presents. But for the remainder of my time, I will focus on governance of AI. The rapid advancements in AI come with significant challenges related to ethical considerations, to accountability, and its disruptive impacts on society. AI governance has emerged as a critical area of focus, with the ultimate aim of mitigating the risks of AI while maximizing its benefits. Governance related to this technology is the responsibility of everyone: governments, regulatory bodies, industry, and developers themselves. Already we have seen the emergence of existing governance mechanisms. For example, AI technologies may fall within the boundaries of existing laws and regulations. Legislation related to discrimination, to data protection, and to privacy already exist. As well, AI is already governed via regulatory compliance. Additionally, Industry will look to self-govern AI themselves to manage and to mitigate risks so that with their products, they ensure their commercial interests are protected and that their core services function well. Many have sought to apply an ethical lens to AI. For example, UNESCO has proposed a human rights approach to AI based on 10 principles. Principles such as transparency, explainability, new word, human oversight, multi-stakeholder and adaptive governance, and collaboration. Also, some major technology firms such as Microsoft, Lenovo, Salesforce have adopted UNESCO's AI ethical framework. Yet core to any and every effective governance mechanism for AI must be transparency and accountability. When considering AI technologies, it's important to understand where does the data come from that trains AI systems? How is it controlled and maintained to ensure accuracy, quality, and privacy? Who is involved in the development and creation of AI systems? Is there diverse representation around their decision-making tables? Are there challenge functions embedded within the organizations? It is crucial to identify mechanisms to ensure true transparency and accountability in the development and deployment of AI. By now, it must be increasingly obvious to all of us the enormous challenge before us. How do we govern a technology so complex, so ubiquitous, and developing so rapidly, even as we speak? We can say without a doubt that doing nothing is really not an option, but it is clear that governance will be complex as AI technology is itself. What is Canada doing? Well, the Canadian government has made a few moves to regulate AI, both within its own operations and within Canadian society. The government introduced the Guide on the Use of Generative Artificial Intelligence, which serves as a crucial resource for federal public service organizations. This guide outlines key principles and practices that should be followed when implementing generative AI systems. It emphasizes the significance of ethical considerations and of accountability. It focuses on the principles of fairness, security, and relevance. Another significant step taken by the Canadian government on AI governance is the introduction of Bill C-27, officially known as the Digital Charter Implementation Act. It represents a significant legislative effort to address the complexities and challenges posed by digital and emerging technologies in Canada, aiming to enhance privacy protections for Canadians while promoting innovation in the digital economy. Bill C-27 proposes measures to ensure accountability and guidelines to mitigate risks, addresses specific concerns on generative AI, seeks to safeguard individual rights and values, while at the same time recognizing the need to foster innovation. This bill represents an important evolution in our governance environment. The government also introduced the Voluntary Code of Conduct on the Responsible Development and Management of Advanced Generative AI Systems, a code that aims to serve as a guideline for organizations developing generative AI technologies and emphasizes the importance, again, of ethical principles and responsible innovation. Signatories on this code commit to working towards accountability, safety, fairness, and equity, transparency, human oversight, and monitoring, validity, and robustness in AI systems. And we're seeing a notable number of signatories on this code: TELUS, Lenovo, the Council of Canadian Innovators, IBM are some, to give an example. And just this month, the Canadian government launched the Canadian Artificial Intelligence Safety Institute, a new research institute expected to advance our understanding of the risks associated with AI and develop measures to address these risks. It will collaborate with other global safety institutes as part of the work that it undertakes. Globally, the governance of AI is also an emerging priority. International organizations are increasingly involved in examining the ethical considerations we've talked about. The OECD has an AI incidence model that I encourage you all to visit. This monitors, reports any event where an AI system produces a negative outcome, whether due to biases, errors, misalignments with human values. Such tools are valuable because tracking incidents allows organizations to learn from their experiences and to refine their AI policies and practices accordingly. The World Economic Forum published a report on governance of generative AI earlier this year, outlining the best practices for managing this technology. In fact, they've done a significant amount of work on AI governance and have created tools to help those interested consider the complex impacts of AI on various sectors of society. And the UN Advisory Body Report on Artificial Intelligence published its final report in September, entitled Governing AI for Humanity. This report serves as a call to action for a balanced approach to harnessing AI's potential while addressing its challenges. Crafted by a diverse team, government, tech, and human rights leaders, all of whom were engaged with more than 2,000 experts worldwide, it emphasizes the need for a global framework to ensure the responsible and ethical development of technologies. Finally, various governments are working on AI regulations. The EU has an important example, as it recently passed the AI Act, and is probably the most significant legal development on AI regulations globally at this point in time. The Act establishes a comprehensive framework on AI and includes the creation of an EU AI office, which will oversee the implementation and enforcement of this Act, including the power to impose significant penalties where regulations are not respected. Colleagues, to conclude, the governance of AI is an enormous but necessary enterprise. Today, I've given you a very high-level scan of some of the efforts currently ongoing, but I'd like to leave you with my greatest concerns. And these are, first, AI's development is significantly exclusionary. Access to this technology and to its benefits is so far reserved for the significantly affluent countries within the global north. This concerns me because it means that almost certainly that AI will have unintended consequences that will hit those already impacted by systemic marginalization and racism. It also means that these people will not gain from the productive and innovative benefits of AI in an equitable way. Secondly, I'm concerned about the lack of transparency within the industry. When given a peek through a 2022 MIT Sloan Management Review article, where over 1,000 managers responsible for the development and deployment of AI globally were surveyed, we were told that only 25% believe that they had fully mature governance processes in place. This reflects a troubling reality that private industry, the principal generators and users of these tools, have a lot to improve and a long way to go. We need to be able to see into these processes in a way that both respects and maintains the commercial interests of industry, while at the same time ensuring that they are challenged to ensure their work is responsible. Finally, I'm concerned about the implementation of AI policies within Canada and globally. We need policies that are aligned, consistent, and carry appropriate penalties for non-compliance. Without this, we risk stifling industry or allow it to run free to our own detriment. Colleagues, it's almost bedtime. I thank you for your attention. The safe and productive development of AI is one of the most important issues of our time. I hope to hear from many of you as possible on this inquiry, and I look forward to an ongoing debate.